You ever feel like your brain just crashes? Not like a dramatic Hollywood collapse, more like this quiet, invisible overload where your thoughts pile up like laundry, your to-do list feels like a threat, and suddenly even sending one email feels like lifting a mountain. Yeah, that kind of overwhelmed. And the worst part? No one can really see it happening. You look fine on the outside, but inside, it's like your mental tabs are all open, and every single one is frozen. If that sounds familiar, pause, take a breath, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you something wildly simple. A 1-minute trick that resets your clarity, grounds your body, and gets you out of that mental quicksand. No apps, no deep philosophy, just your breath, your senses, and a weirdly effective little shift you can do anywhere. And once you know how it works, you'll wonder how you live without it. Let's start with this. Why does everything feel so heavy sometimes? The truth is, it's not just your workload, it's your nervous system. See, we all have this ancient alarm system built into us. It's what kept our ancestors alive when they heard a twig snap in the woods. But today, that same system gets triggered by Slack pings, unread emails, traffic, your boss's "hey, can we talk" message, or even your own spiraling thoughts. So we start living in this constant hum of stress, not full-on panic, not relaxation, just this low-key, always-on tension. And that tension, it's like background noise for your brain. It keeps you distracted, jumpy, foggy, and exhausted, even if you haven't done much. Which is why when people say, just take a break, it doesn't always help. Because if your mind is still in chaos, you can't feel the break. You sit there scrolling or staring at the wall, but your nervous system is still on high alert. That's where this 1-minute trick comes in. In this video, we're breaking down one ridiculously simple reset, but to make it stick, we're going to walk through it in 3 tiny but powerful steps. The shift, a fast way to break your overwhelmed spiral and snap into the present. The breath, a calming pattern that literally signals safety to your body. The anchor, a grounding technique to stabilize your clarity in under a minute. And trust me, this is not fluff. These are nervous system hacks used by athletes, therapists, even military professionals. But don't worry, today we're using them to handle emails and existential dread. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why you get overwhelmed, but more importantly, you'll know exactly what to do when it hits. All right, let's dive into step 1, the shift. This is where we interrupt the chaos. When you're overwhelmed, your brain is usually stuck in either the past, I should have replied to that message, or the future, what if I mess up the meeting tomorrow? The present, it's not even on your radar. So here's what I want you to do when overwhelm strikes. Say this quietly to yourself. What's one thing I can feel right now? Not think, not fix, just feel. Maybe it's the chair under you, maybe it's the air on your skin, maybe it's your feet pressing into the floor. This tiny question jolts you out of your head and into your body. It's like yanking the emergency brake on a runaway train. And it sounds almost too simple, right? But your nervous system doesn't speak in words, it speaks in sensations. So the moment you focus on a real physical feeling, your brain goes, oh, we're here, we're safe. No, tiger, you've just made the shift. Step 2, the breath. This is where we calm the alarm bells. Now, there are a ton of breathing techniques out there, but this one's ridiculously easy and scientifically backed. It's called the physiological sigh. Here's how you do it. Inhale through your nose, then take a second, sharper inhale right after. Exhale slowly through your mouth, like you're blowing through a straw. Let's try it together. Inhale. Again. Now exhale slowly. Do that 2 to 3 times. What just happened? You just did what your body naturally does when it's trying to calm down. Infants do it. Dogs do it. Humans do it subconsciously when they cry. It tells your body, hey, no need to panic. We're okay. And in just 15 seconds, your heart rate slows, your blood pressure evens out, and your brain starts clearing up. Overwhelm, dialed down. Final step, the anchor. This is what helps the reset stick. We're going to pick one sensory detail around you to focus on for 10 seconds. Not to analyze it, just to observe it. For example, the sound of a fan, the pattern on the floor, the feeling of your shirt on your skin. the light filtering through the window. Zoom in on it like a camera lens. Notice its texture, its rhythm, its temperature, its shape. Why? Because this focuses your attention, not on the million things buzzing in your head, but on one thing that's real and now. It grounds your awareness like an anchor dropped into choppy waters. After 10 seconds, something shifts. It's subtle, but you'll feel it. Mental noise, gone. Inner clarity, back online. Let's put it all together. The full 1-minute reset looks like this. The shift asks, what's one thing I can feel right now? Feel it, don't think about it. The breath, do 2 physiological sighs. Inhale, inhale, slow exhale. The anchor, focus on one sensory detail for 10 seconds. Just observe, no story. That's it. You've just told your nervous system, we're not in danger, we're grounded, we're safe to think clearly again. Try it the next time you feel like everything's spinning, before a big call, after a tense conversation, in the middle of a to-do list meltdown. It works, and not because it's magic, but because it speaks the language your body actually understands. Here's the cool part. There's real science behind all this. When you interrupt thought spirals with sensation, you calm your amygdala. That's the part of your brain that handles fear and emotion. The physiological sigh activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that chills you out. And the anchor technique quiets your brain's default mode network. Basically, the chaos loop that keeps you overthinking. So in under 60 seconds, you've shifted out of survival mode and into calm, focused awareness. And once you practice this a few times, your body starts remembering it, which means eventually it kicks in even faster. Look, if you've ever felt like you should be able to handle more, or like other people are managing fine while you're barely staying afloat, stop. That's not weakness, that's biology. Our world wasn't built for stillness. It's built for stimulation, comparison, urgency. So if your brain is tired, it's not broken. It's responding exactly as it should. What you need isn't more pressure. It's a pattern interrupt. And this reset trick, it's just that. A 60-second, no equipment, do it anywhere pattern interrupt. That tells your system, you're safe, let's reset. So the next time you're spiraling, stuck, or just plain overwhelmed, don't wait until you crash. Use this, right then, right there. Because your clarity, your energy, your ability to show up fully, they don't come from pushing harder. They come from learning how to pause on purpose. And that's what this channel is all about. Here at Simple Truths, we break down life's most overwhelming challenges into things you can actually do. Not someday, not eventually, but right now. Because progress doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a full makeover to feel better. Sometimes it just takes one small reset. If that's the kind of help you need more of in your life, stick around. You're in good company here. And hey, maybe drop a comment or tap that little thumbs up if today's trick helped you catch your breath. We'll be right here with the next simple truth.